Alright, Shalom. We always start by giving all praises and honor to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to all you Akim that's pushing the word in all truth and sincerity. Alright, this is Brother Aratazah.
The brother Kashavala.
Right, and you know, we're just going to do a GMS in transit. And basically we want to go over how you're basically we coming into that time where your faith has to be built up to a level to where, you know, when it comes to that point for the Most High to test you, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? You basically prove your faith. You know, and you know, that's basically what the Most High want to see. The Most High want to see if you really are down for this truth, man. If you really have that fervent belief in this thing, man. And we're gonna go through some scriptures where the Lord, or there was examples, all right, of our ancestors, our forefathers, that showed a fervent faith and belief, and the Most High provided a way for them to escape, all right, out of those certain situations, man. You know, and when you put in that situation, don't waver. You know, don't doubt, which we're gonna get the scriptures on that. You know, you just want to remain firm and be assured, man, of what you went to, man. You know, you got to believe that the Most High going to deliver you out. You know, you gonna say something?
I was just thinking, because like the brother brother Ratazah said, and you know, we're coming to a time where we're going to be tried. You know what I'm saying? And it was something in 2nd Ezra, if I'm not mistaken, I think like the 16th chapter, started around like the 70th verse. It talks about how, like, you know, the soldiers or whatnot, they're going to come into our, you know, our place. They're going to take all our food and stuff. And, it says in there, then shall, you know, be known who's the men of the Lord. Loosely paraphrasing, you know what I'm saying? But are you going to have faith during that time? And if that does happen, if you have that faith, the Lord will provide an escape.
That's right.
You know, whether it just be, you know, you end up, you know, dying for say, that's an escape.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because now you on a chariot getting ready to beam your brothers up.
That's right.
Or he sends an angel, or he just gives you spiritual power, or makes you disappear or something. You know what I'm saying? Either way, it's going to be escape if you keep the faith until the end.
That's right.
Like the scriptures say, keep the faith until death.
That's
pretty
right.
much. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You got it out.
That's right. Kind. So we're going to bring out 2 Samuel 22 and starting at 14. All right, this is King David. It says 14 verse says, the Lord thundered from heaven, and the Most High uttered his voice, and he sent out arrows and scattered them, lightning and discomfited them. And the channels of the sea appeared, the foundations of the world were discovered at the rebuking of the Lord, at the blast of the breath of his nostrils.
Ooh. With that, because it said with the blast of the breath of his nostrils, can you get 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter?
Yep.
Because it goes in the same exact thing, almost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where it says out of his mouth came a flame of fire.
That's verse. Matter of fact, I'll get right to the point. It's 2nd Ezra 13 and 10. It says, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath.
A flaming breath, man.
Right.
You know, a Christian will read that and see it as literal.
Right.
But it's not literal, because the scriptures say, even in that same chapter, he defeated the enemies without labor, and that's speaking of Yahweh Shai. You know, he could, you know, and also the scriptures say he lifted no sword up. I think in the same chapter, if I'm not mistaken, he had no sword or nothing in his hand. It was all just controlled with his mind. It was the same thing that was going on in 2 Samuel when it started speaking of that smoke out of the nostrils, the lightning that discomfited them, you know, that was power coming from above, you know, helping King David out. You know?
Well, matter of fact, that's verse 9. Let me jump up a verse. It says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests, man.
And those are them laser beams.
That's right, man. That's right. And this is so-called wacky Christians. They don't go into scriptures like that. Well, first of all, they don't even deal with the Apocrypha.
Not at all.
You know, but even the other scriptures like this, like in the Old Testament, New Testament, you know, they don't go over that, man. You know, they don't touch on any of the prophecies. You know, or they do talk about the Lord coming back. They mythicize it like he's gonna come back and you know, shake hands and high five, giving out roses. Nah, man, the Lord coming back for destruction. You know, but yeah, that was in the second Negroes.
Just to give y'all like a visual of what it's speaking about in second Samuel, the 22nd chapter.
Yep.
Go ahead.
This is 2 Samuel 22 and 17. It said, he sent from above, he took me, he drew me out of many waters, he delivered me from my strong enemy and from them that hated me, for they were too strong for me. Yeah, so David said he was sent from above, and he was taken. He took him, and basically he, you know, basically in so many words he made that way from the escape.
Exactly.
Now when it says took me, you know, that can mean different things. It can mean, oh, he probably got ended up in a chariot. And the chariot might have took him to another, you know, refuge, so to speak, or safe haven. Or he probably just got, you know, just transported, you know, like if you watch that movie Jumper, you know, some of you brothers might see that movie Jumper, and you sit here in America, and next thing you know, you in Egypt by the pyramid, man. You know, that's the type of that you gotta think, you know, cause the Most High, the scripture say his ways are not our ways, the Most High is out there, man. The Most High is going to do some things that's going to, like, yo, it's crazy, you know. Here it is. You probably in a, you know, like me and the brother was talking. Here it is. Your head is probably in a guillotine. You know, Esau about to trying, you know, force you to take the chip. Man, fuck that, man. You sending up prayers. You know, you praying with your eyes closed, and next thing you know, man, you outside on the top of the roof, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh shit, you know. But that's the point. You know, I guess the subtitle is his faith, man. You know, that's why the spirit is got brothers revved up right now. You see what's going on in the news with these stage shootings, stuff like that. Get the guys wearing the beards and stuff. You know, Esau is well, really it's through the Most High. You know, but Esau is setting the stage, man, to try to come down on the Hebrew Israelites, so to speak. You know, so now's the time to you know, take things serious, man. Focus on building your faith up. You know, I think that was it on that. See, I got another one. This is Acts. Acts chapter 8. One moment. Okay, it's Acts chapter 8. Alright, this is when Philip was talking to the eunuch from Ethiopia, which he was a Jake. Alright, it was an Israelite. This is Acts 8 and 26. I'm gonna try to read it a little fast. This is kind of a lot, but this is just another example you know, of what brothers going to be going through. Because really, we're just reliving the book of Acts all over again. You know, you look at the Acts of the Apostles and what they was doing. All right, brothers are living that now, and we're going to go to more in the near future. This is Acts 8 and 26. It says, the angel of the Lord spake unto Philip, saying, arise and go toward the south into the way that goeth down from Jerusalem unto Gaza, which is desert. And that's another thing too. You know, you gotta know how to listen to the Spirit, man. You know, the Spirit tell you to, which we was talking about that earlier too. That might happen in that day, man. You might be thinking, well, I'm gonna go, but a voice or a spirit to say, hey,
go that way.
Yeah, go that way, man. You know, go over here. You know, or a literal angel might, an angel might disappear. Like, hey,
point one direction.
Yeah, point one direction. You know, talk to you. Hey, it's gonna be a man with a house expecting you to go. You know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like that, man. It says, verse 27. It says, and he arose and went, and behold, a man of Ethiopia, an eunuch of great authority under Candace, queen of the Ethiopians, who had charge of all her treasure, and had come to Jerusalem for to worship, was returning and sitting in his chariot, and read Isaiah the prophet. Then the Spirit said unto Philip, go near and join thy. See again. It's the Spirit, man. You know, it says, then the Spirit said unto Philip, go near and join thyself to this chariot. And Philip ran thither to him and heard him reading the prophet Isaiah, and said, understand this.
Hey,
yep.
If I can, you know, kindly intercede. It said the Spirit told Philip, and he ran over thither. Did he hesitate? He didn't hesitate.
That's a good point.
He just went with it. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because, like, in that day, hesitation will get you killed, man.
Yeah. Yep.
Your hesitation, feelings, all that will get you killed in that day. If the Spirit says one thing, just do it.
That's right.
No matter if there's like a crying baby laying on the ground or something. If the Spirit says go the other way, go the other way.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Go the other way.
That's right, man.
Philip didn't hesitate.
Yeah. Yep. That's right. That's a good point. Yeah, say he ran, man. Matter of fact, I read it again, verse 30. It says, and Philip ran thither to him and heard him read the prophet Isaiah, and said, understandest thou what thou readest? And he said, how can I accept some should guide me? And he desired Philip that he would come up to sit with them. Right. Which also shows that you got to be taught the scriptures, man. You know, niggas talking about, you know, how you learn about Israel? How you know about the name? Yeah, I taught myself. Nigga, no, you didn't, man.
Yeah, self-taught.
Easily, man. He's watching the videos, man. You know, that's the only way you're gonna get the true understanding. Is a man got to be set up to teach you, man, and break the scriptures down. All right. It says, verse 32. It says, the place of the scripture which he read was this: he was led as a sheep to the slaughter, and like a lamb dumb before his shearer, so open he not his mouth. And that's Isaiah the 53rd chapter. It says in his humiliation his judgment was taken away, and who shall declare his generation? For his life is taken from the earth. And the eunuch answered Philip and said, I pray thee, of whom speaketh the prophet this? Of himself or of some other man? And Philip opened his mouth and began at the same scripture and preached unto him Yahushua. All right, I think let me jump down a little bit. Let me see. I think I just keep reading. Verse 36, it says, and they went on their way. They came unto a certain water, and the eunuch said, see, here is water. What doth hinder me to be baptized? And Philip said, if thou believest with thine heart, thou mayest. You know, showing that what it's about belief, man. About that faith. He says, and he answered and said unto him, I believe that Yahushua is the Son of the Most High. And he commanded the chariot to stand still, and he went down both into the water, both Philip and the eunuch, and he baptized him. And then when they were come up out of the water, the Spirit of the Lord caught away Philip, that the eunuch saw him no more, and he went on his way rejoicing. But Philip was found at Azotus, if I'm saying it correctly, and passing through, he preached into all the cities till he came to Caesar. So yeah, it said the Spirit of the Lord caught Philip away, man. So what is that talking about? You know, he basically got
translated.
Yeah, it translated or transported. You know,
and you know, it's the Spirit too, because through the whole thing, like we're speaking, you know, in times of trouble and tribulation.
Yeah,
Philip wasn't in much, you know, trouble or tribulation right here, but he was doing the work of the Lord.
Yeah, and at
the same time, he kept the faith and didn't hesitate with the Spirit.
That's right.
And at the same time, he told a person just to believe.
That's right.
And to have faith.
Yep.
Don't you think if you're telling someone to just believe and have faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that person may have that faith and belief in Yahweh Shem Yahushai? Next thing you know, Philip got translated.
That's right.
Because of his faith. Man.
Yep. That's right. Yep.
And in that day, man, that's what's gonna get. That's gonna be your avenue of escape. Your faith.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, man. You never know. You probably could be in the house chilling or whatever, doing what you do, and then feds might run up in there. You might be like, oh shit, you might send up a quick prayer like, damn Lord, and you open your eyes, you see somewhere, you on the other side of town, or you at a brother house or somewhere. However, how the Spirit have it to play out, man. You know, I got another. If you got something too, you call it. I'll bring it out for you.
For sure.
This is Revelations 2 and 10. It says, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison." All right, which also proves that the devil isn't just a spiritual mechanism, so to speak. It's actual. You got actually people on the earth that are the physical arm for Satan, man. It says he's going to cast you into prison. Who's that? Esau. Exactly. You know, the devil, Satan, man.
The so-called white man.
That's right. It says the devil shall cast some of you into prison, showing you certain brothers, you know, that might be their lot to be in the concentration camp. But it says that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. You know, so at the end of the day, that's what it's about, man. It's being faithful all the way to the end.
He who loses his life, find it or save it.
Yep. Matter of fact, I think
is that in Matthew?
Yep, Matthew's. I think it's Matthew's 10. You know, yeah, man. That's what it boils down to, man. Just being faithful, man. And just believing, because you know, here it is. That's why we put in all this work now. You know, we're building up our spiritual portfolio, so to speak. You know, we're going through the rankings, improving ourselves, and we got to carry it out to the end, man. So the most I could find us worthy. You know. You know what, they had Matthew 10 and it kind of goes with that. Matthew 10 and 22. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved. And you know, it's just that simple, man. You know, the brothers that endure, you know, you always say that this is an endurance race. You know, what's the word endure? I believe it means to make hard. You know. So it's not a thing where it's a sprint. When you do this thing for a couple years and you got it. Nah, man. You gotta finish the race. The race is not over, man. You know. Actually, we just now getting to you started coming to the hard part, man.
Yep.
You know, right now we just going through the you know, the training.
Yeah, it's like the boot camp.
Yeah.
This is like our because you know our liberty. This is our liberty. This is our grace to build the faith. That's why it says, "Study to show thyself approved." This is like our study guide before we take the test.
That's right.
And if we fail the test, that means we didn't study.
That's right.
If we pass that test, you know what I'm saying? Then we know the rewards of that. You know what I'm saying?
That's right, man.
You get to the next level.
That's right.
And the next level in this instance is the kingdom.
Yep. That's right, man. Yeah, so you gotta endure, man. You know. I got another one. This is First Timothy 2:8. It says, I will therefore that men pray everywhere.
Everywhere you go.
You know?
The scriptures say in Thessalonians, was at 5:17. 1 Thessalonians 5:17. Pray without ceasing.
That's right, yep.
So if you're praying, what did Daniel do in Daniel 6? He prayed 3 times a day. Same thing King David did when he reading the Psalms. He prayed morning, evening, and morning, noon, and night. You know, I think that's what it says. And same thing here. Pray everywhere you go. And you know, the scriptures also tell you to meditate on it. When you read Psalm, the 1st chapter, Sirach, the 6th chapter, Sirach, the 39th chapter, it tells you to meditate. Even if you're meditating on Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai and his words, you're praying.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You're praying. You know, you don't have to be facing the east and
right.
You know, maybe on your knees or, you know, however you pray all the time, everywhere. You could do it everywhere you go anyway if you're always meditating on the Lord.
Yep. That's right. Exactly, man. Yeah, that's the prayer, man. That's what we're supposed to be doing, man. You know, just constantly have the truth on your mind. Constantly have to get your Yahushua, you know, the Akim, you know, the Most High, or constantly have it in your thoughts, man. It says, I will therefore that men pray everywhere, lifting up holy hands without wrath and doubting. You know, without doubting, man.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, it said without doubting, because you know, going back to the topic, which basically, you know, those situations brothers are gonna be in, you know, which, you know, we in the flesh, of course, brothers, you know, naturally we're gonna be like, oh shit, you know, we're gonna be, you know, nervous, but at the same time, don't doubt the power of the Lord, man. You know, scripture say what the Lord's not what it say, the Lord won't forget your work and labor of love, or something like that. I think it's in the Hebrews. You know, so you guys don't doubt, man. Don't doubt the power of the Lord. Scriptures also say in Sirach 2, you know, have any trusted in the Lord and was confounded.
The 2nd chapter.
You know, right. So and the answer is no, man. Exactly. You know, so Roman, I think chapter 14. I think it's the last verse, maybe like verse 23, 24, something like that. And then hold James, I think 1 and 6, something like that. You know, because you know the doubting and then you got your faith has to, you know, overwhelm any doubt that you have. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, in Romans, I think in the 14th chapter, if I'm not mistaken, it says, go ahead.
Okay, I got it. This is Romans 14 and 22. It says, hast thou faith? Have it to thyself before the Most High. Happy is he that condemneth not himself in that thing which he alloweth. And he that doubteth is damned if he eat, because he eateth not of faith. For whatsoever is not of faith is sin.
There you go.
Yep.
You know, you gotta have faith in the Most High. And he that doubteth, that's a sin, man.
Yeah.
You know, you're not supposed to doubt.
That's a cold one, man.
The scripture in Matthew 6, or no, Matthew 7. No, it might be Matthew 6. It gives you it tells you not to worry. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Don't worry about how you're gonna be clothed. Don't worry about what you're gonna eat. Don't worry about, you know, don't worry about those certain things. That's like having anxiety.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then in that James real quick, because like this is how you combat that doubt. You could say when you read it, you can start where it says, "If anyone's lacking wisdom."
This is James 1 and 5. It says, "If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High."
There you go. So if you lack in wisdom, we need to ask of the Most High. And ultimately, if you know you lack in faith, that's having some type of wisdom that you know, hey, I'm slipping in this subject, you could say. I need to go to the Most High to be tutored, to be helped, to get assistance. You know what I'm saying? And He will provide that for you. He'll go into it.
It says, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High, that giveth to all men liberty.
Liberally.
It's like to give all men liberally,
which means freely.
And upbraideth not.
Meaning like He won't talk behind your back type stuff. So like if you're lacking wisdom, go to the Lord. He'll give it to you freely, and you know it won't. You know it will be between you and Him.
Yep. It says, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering.
There you go. That you see, acts in faith and nothing wavering. So acts in faith and not doubting.
That's right.
All right. When you're wavering, it's kind of like when Peter was on the water. It had boisterous winds, and the water was wavering. You know, he got scared. He doubted a little bit.
Yeah,
that's when he started to sink. But when you have all faith and not waver, you know, that's how you combat that doubt, man. You gotta have that strong faith, and that's why we have this liberty right now.
That's right. Yeah, but it says, read again, verse 6 says, but let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. That's right, man. Yeah, man. So like the brother said, man, you wanna basically you wanna stand firm. You know, have 100% confidence in this word, man. Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You know, when you pray, don't pray with that, because doubt is a demon, man. You know, you gotta just try. It starts now with being built up. You know,
Philippians. I think it's in the 4th chapter, maybe the 3rd verse. It says, "Be careful, be not careful." If I'm not mistaken, because like it says be not careful. When you look up that word careful, it goes in, you know, to not worry. You know, be carefree, for say. If I'm not mistaken, it may be.
Yep.
It is, yeah, go ahead.
Yep. Philippians 4 and I'm gonna start at. Let's see. I start at 6. Philippians 4 and 6 says, "Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto the Most High."
There you go, man.
Yeah, man.
The scriptures say before you even ask,
Yeah, the Most High already knows.
He already knows,
That's
man.
right.
So don't worry about certain things. Don't have that doubt. Because like I said earlier, that doubt, that hesitation will get you killed in that day.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You have your head in a guillotine or whatnot, and you send up a prayer, but it's in doubt. More than like 9-10 times out of 10, you're not going to get out of that predicament because you didn't have faith. Your faith wasn't built. Or if you're in that guillotine and you pray and you have doubt, you're just going to be like, man, fuck it, just give me the chip.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, instead of taking that guillotine death, you're going to take a nuclear fire death. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. That's right, man.
I mean, you got anything else?
No, I think that's all I had. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So, with that, hopefully brothers that is watching, hopefully brothers was edified. We always end by giving all praise and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Dabans to the apostles, elders, a great millstone, well, and salutations to all you brothers that's pushing the word, truth and sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.